Collective, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan terrorist. You're gonna do your love reading. There was something tapping and I couldn't figure out. I was looking at what was on the dash. I couldn't figure it out. It was my coffee. I had left it outside, so it was leaning on the windshield, tapping away. It's driving me crazy. I was just like, what is that sound? What's that sound? Maybe smell or sound, one of the senses. It's like somebody hears a sound, they get some sort of confirmation through sound. Could be through a song, could be through a bird song, right? So this feels like you're getting the sign that you needed. So if you're asking for a sign, stay tuned. Sign everywhere, a sign. Yeah, and I feel like once you tune in to the first sign, it's going to be just a continuation. And it's like, so if it's a number sequence, or if it's an animal, or if it's a sound, whatever it is, it's like you're going to hear it everywhere. You're going to see it everywhere. You're going to smell it everywhere if it's a smell. The sun is coming out. Whew, hopefully. It's fucking dreary and cold and I hate it. I know it's like, oh, you should embrace all the seasons and everything because we need, you know, there's a reason for a season. So this could also be somebody accepting a connection or an experience as just what it was. Maybe you hoped for more, could have been with a karmic, or could have just been with someone who was not your person. Could have been giving to a job environment, friend, just maybe you started a new hobby and then you're like, maybe this isn't for me. But through it, you discovered so much about what you actually want to do and what your purpose is and what you truly want from a partner. So if you didn't get it from a past person, doesn't mean that they are bad, doesn't mean that they are wrong. They're just not good or right for you. We have the not the Six of Swords, but the Six of Wands, but the Six of Swords, kind of the hero coming in. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry. Leo energy again with the strength and the sun there. And Six of Wands is Leo energy as well with the Four of Wands. And then you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when a hero comes, that's all I know. Yep, the Chariot, Cancerian energy. That's somebody charging forward, coming in. And also when I was just singing that, ooh, MF, motherfucker. No, somebody could be a single mother here. You're about to meet a motherfucker. But that's Mariah Carey, right? And then a hero comes along. But that was giving me the Prince of Egypt. So you and your person, you could have ties to Egyptian ancestry. You could be from Egypt in this incarnation, but there's something that feels very old. The Mummy and Anck-su-namun, it's like you're reconnecting after like centuries, eons, ages. There's like a great gap of time between your last incarnation when you two were together. So there's a reason you've returned. Maybe you were kind of just floating out in the ethers, or you had reincarnated into like something cool, something with very low pressure existence, right? Like something that that isn't human, right? Maybe you incarnated as like a rock, right? Everything, everywhere, all at once, right? You know, the universe where they are rocks is like, How peaceful is this? Like, we can just be. We don't have to, there's nothing required of us. So maybe you had made change in a previous existence together, a previous incarnation. You made change as much as you could. You maybe were part of a very big uprising or revolution at that time, and you moved a lot of energy around with your connection then. And then you kind of were just kind of like floating and chilling, and it's like you're recalled, right? It's like a second Buddha, right? Where they return, they choose to incarnate again so that they can help. It's like a never leave a fallen comrade, right? You know, you never leave somebody behind. You don't leave a friend behind. And so you're kind of like, not as a martyr, right? Like, you're not absorbing the sins of anybody else. You're not doing the work for them, but you're here to represent change and what that looks like so that others can kind of follow in that and be inspired by that. But that's a pretty deep message, but you'll know if that applies. So on the masculine side, we have the Ace of Wands at the center here, and that's that candle in the wind. Is that about Princess Diana? Maybe the name Diana. But she was like, she didn't fit in her environment, right? So maybe your last incarnation, like, it wasn't, you couldn't, nobody else was willing to do the work, and so you were kind of in over your heads, right? And so it's like, it's all about divine timing here. This is a intense message here. But it's like, maybe you couldn't do what the work that needed to be done. And then a hero comes along. So maybe maybe one of you was just like, I'm just going to be a rock for a while. And as twin flames, you know, you have to honor the free will of your person. You can't control them. You can't force them into anything. And why would you want to? You want to be chosen. You want your person to choose the life with you. So yeah, maybe there was just for some of you, you were not, it wasn't the right time. And this is the time where you're going to come together and make the change that you were meant to make however long ago. All right, it feels old. We've got, with the Cancer here, you know, we've got these, see how they're not moving? Could have been dealing with the Cancer. Yeah, sometimes they don't move. Crabby bastards. But it's like, you know, this is a Chariot, but this looks more like it reminds me of not the Fox and the Hound, Robin Hood. The way that they're sitting in the traveling campers, like that gypsy style. So yeah, maybe, and like, so again, I'm getting Disney. I mean, it's not like a big mystery as to why I'm probably getting Disney. Plus, I was raised on Disney movies, like many of us were and are still. But I have been getting a lot of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, because it is like, you know, a part of me growing up, I always was like, I wanted her and the Hunchback to be together, you know. It was like, why not? So maybe, you know, maybe somebody chose someone else. There could be like third-party interference or another lifetime where somebody else took the place. But maybe one of you was like a gypsy and one of you was, I mean, and in olden times, the days of yore, friends where everything from, what is it IKEA or Pottery Barn? Where it's like Pottery Barn, where she's like, oh, this one's from yore, and Ross is like, a lot of things from yore. Maybe one of you was like a gypsy or one of the lamans, and the other was, I'm getting like a monk or a nun, or it's like your lifestyles, you know, someone was a knight or something, and there's no way. There could have been distance or such because of the times, such cultural and societal restrictions on YouTube coming together, that now that we're in, fortunately, such a freer space with that, we have the ability to choose. And just like in The Mummy, you know, she was with the pharaoh or whatever. She was with that guy. That guy. And she couldn't be with, like, their love was forbidden. They weren't able. So it's like, let's re-meet. I will meet you in another age. Okay? I will meet you in another age. There could be an age difference. It's all legal though, so there's nothing like that. But it is like Benjamin Button, you know, they're in different ages, but they sync up, and there's only like a short window in their time frame together where they are able to create, right? Where they're able to co-create, and that's the divine union, that's the Holy Trinity, it's the divine masculine, divine feminine, divine creation. So you could be, you know, you could have children, again, be a single mom or something, or maybe you're trying to get with a single mom, masculine. Also with the MF, I'm getting mother and father, and then KE. Let's just go ahead and pull from these. V in reverse feels like Venus in reverse. So yeah, you were not able to come into union. RE, CZ, and MF again coming out. CZ, that's like a czar, you know. It feels like there was some sort of karmic interference that did not let you two come together in a past life. 1150, yeah, 5 is that lack, and 11 would be that union or new beginning. So yeah, there was some sort of thing that stopped you two from coming together. 7 of Pentacles, yeah, it's Trail of Tears. Yeah, maybe you were, and I talked about this before, maybe one of you were fighting against, you know, maybe somebody was like a colonel, or they were a soldier in, I don't know why I got colonel. Oh, I got colonel because I'm watching The Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino and Chris O'Donnell, when he's real young. And so it's like that mentor thing. Also reminds me of Man Without a Face. So maybe you've never met this masculine feminines, or maybe, and he's a Capricorn. I used to think he was a Sagittarius, so maybe he's a cusper. Al Pacino is a April Taurus. Drip, drip, drop, little April showers, Bambi. Yeah, it's like someone was a hunter and the other one was the hunted. Like, you couldn't be together, you know, like in The Hunchback, he is, whatever his name is. I don't know. I'm thinking John Smith, but that's Pocahontas. But in Pocahontas as well, you know, it's like that forbidden love. They're not supposed to be together. But, you know, despite it all. Oh gosh, I'm thinking of a movie where there's like a hitman that's supposed to take out a female and he can't do it. They fall in love. Also with John Smith, I'm getting Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Angelina and not Patrick. Why am I getting Patrick? Brad Pitt, maybe the P. So maybe the name Patrick or Patrick. Ah, you know, SpongeBob. I don't know, maybe something with that. Maybe somebody has a very deep voice like this. Gemini energy. Ted Levine. Buffalo Bill. Silence of the Lambs. So maybe those films, those signs, those names, maybe lambs. A lamb to slaughter. It's like the lion and the lamb. That's also Twilight. Where he says, you know, they're like, oh, the lion fell for the lamb, and she's like, what a stupid lamb, and he's like, what a masochistic lion or sadistic lion or something like that. You know, it's like this love just feels so forbidden. Like, look at them, they're kind of like, You know, she's showing her ankle there. It's like, it's not proper for them to be together. There's something that feels a little taboo. But what is taboo now is just like, there's very few things that are even taboo anymore. But back in the day, ages ago, you know, everything was taboo. And so, again, I feel like there's something about you guys cycling into this incarnation that makes your love available. And there's still some facets of that: cultural differences, distance, age difference, interracial, same sex, right? Things that are maybe a little bit taboo, but they're not, you know, I mean, it's 2026, people. It's all been out there, right? Trail of Tears. Matriarch of Shields. All right, so we've got the Queen of Pentacles with the deer. Again, could be a feminine earth sign. But see, she's kind of like, look at her. Look how she's kind of, hey, young buck, you know. The feminine could be older here. And kind of like, where are you going to go? This could be a fair-featured masculine. But she is kind of like, hey. Which kind of feels like, you know, like the helper boy who reminds the woman of her late husband or something. You look just like him. But it's like he's reincarnated. So there could be an age difference because somebody passed away and had to reincarnate. Had to cycle back. But we'll see. Roses. I walked in the corner with the body screaming dolo. I don't know the rest of the words, but I just know it's roses. But see the prince here? Look at this prince. This younger guy's like, hey, they're looking at each other like, hey, they like each other. There's a lot of chemistry. It's like you're both in your prime, regardless of whatever differences there are. You're both synced up. Benjamin Button. And Mel Gibson does the voice of John Smith as well. So double Capricorn energy there. Capricorn is devil, right? So, you know, there's that taboo. There's something that seems a little... And now, to clarify the Matriarch of Shields, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Chariot here, Cancerian energy, we've got this feminine here that doesn't see it. She's bound, and this could be someone who's like bound by society, or maybe this is maybe this masculine was on some sort of council, the way he's sitting here, like King Joffrey, little bastard. You know, and this looks like a witch on a pyre, you know, getting set up to be judged. So yeah, there could have been like a past judgment, or maybe somebody that was part of the committee that judged this person. That could be an official committee, or it could be a group of people, right? But it's like the feminine was actually judged by this masculine in a past life, it feels. Now, whatever you believe about past lives, that could be maybe when you were younger. That's also Robin Hood, and he is a Capricorn as well. Kevin Costner, fair-featured masculine. She goes, you know, the only memory I have of you is used to burn my hair as a child. You know, he was like a bully, and now he's sent back by her brother. So there could be something with a sibling, very specific here. A sibling could have passed away, and this person is like, that could bring you together, or this person feels like there's like that close bond that you had with a sibling with this person, which it makes sense. Also, the movie Catch and Release, her partner passes away in the beginning. She's at his funeral, and his friend Timothy Oliphant. So something with maybe the name Tim Timothy, or the letter T, but then we've got Oliphant, which is elephant again. So elephants can be sort of, Oliphants is also like Winnie the Pooh Bear, Winnie, Winston, Winifred Sanderson, the Sanderson sisters, Hocus Pocus, the witches on the pyre. But he's, oh bother. Also with Patrick and Eeyore, they have that similar kind of voice like this. So there's something like that. Somebody could have a very deep voice. But the, heffalumps and woozles and something like that. So there's something about like childhood. You guys could go kind of way back or have interacted before, but there was nothing romantic about it because maybe one of you was a bully. Maybe one of you was just a bully. Or when you were younger, there was a much bigger age difference. Also, my favorite movie, Big Fish, where Helena Bonham Carter's younger version of herself, spoiler alert, and so Sagittarius, and I don't know what Helena Bonham Carter is. So if you know, share it. But anyway, she's like, well, when I'm 17, you'll be 27. When I'm 18, you'll be 28 or whatever. Like, but at the time, he's 18 and she's 10. She's 8. Like, they have a 10-year age difference. But it's weird when they meet the first time, but then it's not as weird or whatever. It's not that big of a difference. She's like, I'm going to marry him. She's completely smitten with him. I mean, who wouldn't be? Ewan McGregor. Scottish and Sagittarius. Oh bother. We'll just leave it at that. But they so there's something about like maybe later in life it's like a 10-year age difference isn't that big of a deal, but maybe you knew each other and you were like friends with their sibling, or you were and so it never would have worked. It would have been weird that you were the little sister, the little brother, or whatever, and now it's like you're an adult and you're your own people. And it's all legal. So yeah, it's good that it didn't work out before. There was like no romantic interest. Maybe on one of you, the younger one, you could have had a crush, on them or whatever, but there was no grooming involved here. I just want to make that very clear, because we don't support any of that weird shit here. It's just time apart, and then you come back together, and now you're completely different people because you've grown up. So, but we have the 8 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. So it's like, there is someone was kind of off working on their own stuff for a while. Growing up, working on their health, their wealth, their fitness, possibly. Someone could be like really into fitness and health. Maybe when you knew each other when you were younger, it was like, maybe one of you was like a pimple-faced nerd, and one of you was like a chubby, and one of you was a jock, and one, like it never would have worked. You were just too different. And it's not necessarily like, I'm also getting what Freddie Prinze Jr. and somebody could be a junior here. And yeah, that could be like the namesake or something, like, oh, we don't talk to them, or it could be a cultural difference, like we're Jewish and they're Christian or whatever. Like there could be some sort of difference that never would have worked. But now that you're adults and you can make your own decisions, it's like the family has no say, nobody else has any say. You guys can do whatever the fuck you want, and you're going to do whatever the fuck you want, which is each other. Pretty pumped up today. But this union here is the 10 of Pentacles. It's like somebody was working on all of these things, and I feel like now you've come back, and maybe it wasn't like, oh, I could never be with them because they're a dork or whatever. I don't think that there was any kind of like, or maybe somebody was judgmental. Maybe they were clicked up and they were the popular kid and you weren't, But now it's like, that's all in the past. That's all in the past. We can move forward. So whether that was a past life in Egypt or anywhere in the world, but or it was in this life, it's a past life. It's a past version. It doesn't matter. What matters is like the work that we have, the cycles that we've created for ourselves with the number 8 here. We've created cycles of stability, And this person's working alone. So this person did a lot of work with the stars here. They've healed a lot of that. So if they were a judgmental prick, they're not anymore, because they realize maybe they were bullied or raised by judgmental pricks, right? So we just kind of repeat what we know until we learn better. Ugh. Get out of my throat chakra. And then the 10 of Pentacles is, it's it. That's it. That's growing old together. And I like that, because you're growing young together, actually, I feel. Because there's a child here, there's dogs, there's this elderly person. It's the whole community. It's bringing the ends of the spectrum together. It's not just like the broken family systems of today. Most of them are completely broken and separated. And I mean, how many kids are actually raised around their grandparents anymore? And a lot of people are not even having kids anymore. They're, antinatalism, so somebody could be antinatalist. And maybe that was a perspective that you had. You didn't want children, you didn't want family, you didn't want to settle down for whatever reason, because you had poor representation of what that could even look like. You never had an example of what that could even be. And so, but being around this person, interacting with this person, is reminding both of you, or maybe just one of you, maybe one of you has been all in just waiting for this. Maybe you've really held tight to this connection, that you like always believed it would work out. You always believed that you would come together. You just knew it. The genie, the carpet rise. Yeah, do you trust me? And the feminine's like, I do. But she's on this magical carpet ride all by her damn self. So I think maybe the feminine had more belief in love in general, possibly, or just in this connection. Like, they've always felt it as the 5D, right? And this is 3. I'm getting wee. He's holding up the 3 there, and he holds it up like I do. I don't know. Do you do 3 like this? Like this? How do you do 3s? This is also, what's the movie? Is that Inglourious Bastards? Where he does this, he tells on himself. Somebody's telling on themselves, but in a good way. You must try the cream. The creme. Creme brulee. I don't know, maybe it's coffee, or you'll you meet in like a pastry shop, or there's like donuts around or something like that. There could be some kind of like sweet treats. With the rugs here. And yeah, this could also be like, looks kind of like yoga mats. I just did a class, so that's where my mind is for sure. But yeah, you could meet in some kind of class or something. 1, 2, 3. That's the Holy Trinity, and it's also like ready, set, go. So this, whoever tells on themselves, what is this? Oh, is that Moana? I've never seen the whole movie Moana. I used to work in a daycare, and I saw bits and pieces of it. Like, I've only ever seen it in pieces. But what is that? Shiny, the crab with Cancerian energy. The song Shiny. Yeah, somebody likes, maybe somebody wears a lot of jewelry or accessories they're kind of flashy. Maybe somebody's a little bit flashy, and maybe somebody's not so flashy, Maybe someone's a little bit more earthy, and like someone's a city kid, and what is that? Journey. There could be a journey involved here. Could be crossing an ocean with Moana. Also maybe that fish hook, somebody could wear like a piece of jewelry that is very like a staple of their aesthetic, or it could be like a spiritual piece of jewelry or something, some mala beads or some sort of bracelet, some sort of crystal or something for protection. It could be an heirloom, right? Like a locket. It could be anything, but I feel like it's a piece of jewelry, particularly a necklace or something that goes around the neck. And why am I saying, like, what other piece of jewelry would go around the neck than a necklace? So it might not be a necklace, but it could be like one of those, those, I don't know what they're called. It's not a lapel, It's like a necktie. It goes around the neck, and it's like got a little, it's like a man's brooch. And it's got the tassel or whatever. It's very Western. So that could be, yeah, it's like cowboys and Indians here. I feel like you guys are on different ends of the spectrum. You should be, not should be, but like you should be, according to society. You guys shouldn't be together. You would never make it. You would never fit. But you are, like, you're the same soul. So of course you're gonna make it work, right? Like, look at these two kites here. This is the union. And see, here's the feminine now, dark-haired feminine possibly. But here she is going like, I knew we would be together. That is what, Sex and the City, Miranda and Skippy. You know, he's a younger man, and she's a very serious lawyer, and I don't really know what he does. I think he does like IT stuff, but he's, you know, he's kind of dorky. She likes angry guys and whatever, and so yeah, this could just be someone that's completely different than anyone you've ever been with, but it's going to be what you've actually needed, because what you've been with is a cycle that you don't want to do anymore, right? Right. But yeah, it feels like the feminine's, well, in that he was like, I knew we'd get back together. She goes, oh, you did you? Okay, Skippy. You know, she calls him Skippy, which he hated at first, but now he loves. So there could be some kind of nickname or something that you, again, if you knew each other before. Oh, what's going on here? Confirmations. Yeah, they could have called you some kind of nickname or something. Or they may have some kind of nickname for you that is maybe like an encourageable thing. You're like, I hate when people call me by my first name, or maybe you go by your middle name, or you go, you know, it's like they call you by your last name. That is very military, but you know, they may call you kid because there's that age difference to kind of like establish that age difference, but then it turns into being like in Sex and the City, Mr. Big calls Carrie kid. Hey, kid. And I think they have like a 10-year age difference, maybe 11-year age difference, something, because on her 35th birthday or 36th birthday, I think he's 45, so maybe they're 9-year difference. Anyway, something around 10 I'm getting for that. 16, Aurora, the apples and the horse. Well, we are in the year of the horse, right? So look at all these apples. This is a very healthy bond. Apples represent health. It's going to be very fruitful. And there's the 10 again with the princess and the frog. The bottles. You might be making like some kind of, I'm getting like apple cider or kombucha or something like that. You might be like starting some sort of holistic business or something like, you could be making moonshine or like start like a brewery or something like that. I just don't think like that as a non-drinker. So, but yeah, you could be like kind of making something, but look at this frog, something with a frog, you know, and he is the prince. So it's like, and they don't like each other in the beginning. And we had that message in what, yesterday's reading or the day before or something. Wait, is that Aurora? Yeah, that's Aurora. I don't know if there was another Disney movie I missed, but the horse here, there's something with this is what the prince rides, this horse. So yeah, maybe there's some sort of like pet or companion or friend. Yeah, somebody's letting something slip. They might be letting something slip with a friend. They might be like confessing this love, this attraction to a friend, and then the friend is going to be the one that's like kind of brings you guys together. Or just like a pet or whatever, how they're like, the pet's like dragging you over to this section, you're like, oh, or they get off leash and you're like chasing them, and then you have like a meet cute where you guys are like, oh. come together right now over me. Come together right now over me. The Maiden of Shields, which is the Page of Pentacles. I don't know why she looks very sad to me, this feminine. She looks very sad to me, because she's like looking for this deer, which is the Lovers. It's Gemini energy. Maybe a deer is going to be, there's something about the hunter and the hunted. And with the Page of Pentacles, you know, that's like the captive. 8. In an old cycle, yeah, one of you was right here, captive. Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords and the World. This was in the message where the feminine was waiting. I won't wait forever. This feminine is really trying to maintain their Empress status of receiving, but I think there's a little bit of a like this journey here. There's that, and I was getting Journey. Oh yeah, the song or the band Journey. That's where I was saying that, because just a small town girl, just a city boy. Is it city boy or small town boy? Small town girl, city boy. Anyway, maybe those are switched, but yeah, maybe one of you is like from the city. You know, wears a lot of like, you know, high class cologne or perfume, and you know, is like dressed to the nines, wears accessories, and the other one's like, you know, got dirt under their fingernails and wears patchouli or something. You know, it's like, there's something very, very different about you guys. But the stars, yeah, there's a sadness here. There's like a longing in this feminine's eyes. In this journey, it's like the silhouette, you can't really tell. Are they coming toward me or are they going away? So that's a message for somebody. 6, though, the 6 of Wands, or 6 of Swords. Is the rescue. That's what I was getting from the 6 of Wands earlier. So it's like maybe there's a little bit of doubt. Like, are they coming or going? Are they ever going to come, or are they leaving me? And that was that sort of anxiety that was binding the feminine from maybe being able to see this union. Are they up to snuff? Maybe somebody snuffs or does dips. I'm getting that like dip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. I feel like the masculine really likes this feminine's hips, and they're kind of letting the feminine guide this in a weird way. So maybe there's a female that's the masculine and a male that's the feminine, right? Could be like a flip-flop here, so it goes against society's standards or whatever. Although I feel like that's kind of, it's all gray area anyway. Just there are females pursuing males and all of that. So, but know that if you are a female that does identify as a divine feminine, you don't pursue. Masculine pursues. So if you are pursuing, then you're putting yourself in the masculine energy, and this masculine needs you to remain. They're like, wait, I'm coming. So there's a level of trust here, the stars, because that reminds me of a Grace Potter in the Nocturnals. So somebody's up at night, somebody's longing at night. I mean, that's when most people do their longing anyway, but it's, the lyrics are that yeah, maybe somebody left and they had to return. They had to go find themselves. They had to go grow up to come back. So whether this is like a sense of 5D longing and you've never met this person, man without a face, maybe you've never seen this masculine, you haven't met in the 3D, or it's just been such a long time. Like, you know, if you're away from somebody, you don't even remember their face. Or if you have a really amazing interaction with someone, it's like you immediately forget their face. Also, that's in Sex and the City with Berger, Jack Berger, the name Jack, JB Weld. Maybe somebody's a welder. But she was like, when I really like someone, I can't remember how they look. You know, it's like you just remember a sense. There's like a sense of this. So yeah, Sex and the City. There's like, and my favorite relationship, or my favorite male in there, because my favorite relationship is Charlotte and Harry. I really like them because she believed in love. She never gave up. She was this faithful feminine that was like, no, I'm here. I'm ready to fall in love. I'm getting married this year. That's what she says. And she does. Like, she affirms and creates her fucking reality. And she's in a true feminine energy. Even though she, you know, does well for herself and everything. She's not like a dud. Not that feminine energy is ever a dud. I don't know why I said that. So maybe somebody, you know, feels like, oh, if I really get into my feminine energy, like I can't get into my feminine energy and still like run all this, especially if you're a single parent or something. You know, you have to do the work. You have to figure it out. You have to pay the bills, you know. So it's like, that's not masculine energy. That's masculine energy, but you are in love receiving. So that's the feminine energy that you're dropping into or remaining in if you are already there. So there's something there. But my favorite male is Aiden. But Carrie's very much the city girl, and he's very much the country boy, you know, like he's out there like primitive camping style, you know, in his cabin or whatever, and she's like, a squirrel, you know, and he's like, that's my squirrel, you know, like he's befriending the animals. He's like Aurora out there. He's like a Disney princess out there, like, they're gathered. Maybe this male is a singer, or this masculine is a singer. But the stars, you know, she says, I lit a fire with the love you left behind. And it burned wild and it crept up the mountainside. I followed your ashes into outer space. I can't look out the window and I can't look at this face. Then she says space or place. Face, space, place. I don't know, something. And I can't look at the stars. They make me wonder where you are. Yeah, maybe the name Leo, or somebody's godfather, the Godfather. Something with the families here. It's a tight-knit family, I think. But there's like that longing. I can't even look at the stars, because when I look at the stars, it like breaks my heart. But this is the High Priestess. I mean, the stars is Aquarius energy, but it is that healing again. Somebody's had to go heal. This masculine had to go heal in order to come back and be a nourishing masculine. Like, they had to go fix some stuff. They had to go grow up. Maybe they went off to war, literally, but they went off to fight their own battles. There were battles that they had to fight. But the spider is High Priestess, Piscean energy. It's the creator. Sometimes, this is Soul 53. Sometimes we develop this persona because we think it is what other people expect from us, even though it isn't the real us. If we want the full beauty of our real self to unfold, we need to peel away the layers of the masks surrounding it. Man knows so many things he does not know himself. Observed 14th century mystic Meister Eckhart. I don't know who that is. But they said that. They said man knows so many things. Leave it. He does not know himself. Yeah, it's like somebody was so, and it's kind of like that city lifestyle, you know, it's like fast life. There's so many options and there's so much going on that you never have the time or the stillness to sit with the self and understand the self and peel back those layers and grow and do this work on the self and heal. So yeah, feminines have been kind of like holding it down, and I think that there's quite a bit of a struggle there What do I got? What do I got? 44. That might be good, but let's see the animal tracks. The name Jonathan Popple. But that's the John Smith. I'm getting that again. 888. Which 8 is missing? We got swords, so clovers, which is wands. 8 of wands. So that's the action. There's 6 of swords, though. That's the action. King of cups. Coming in, 2 of wands. Somebody had to leave something behind. Queen of pentacles. 10 of American beaver. That's Taurus energy. That is the Native American zodiac for Taurus. The snowshoe hare. So there is something with a white hare. The white rabbit. And the queen. And that one's the queen of... She's the red queen. Off with their heads. And the 10 of swords is the end of deception. Somebody was, again, wearing a mask, pretending. There was pretense. They were, to everybody else, they were one version of themselves. And this feminine is the only one who has ever seen or will ever see the truest version of their masculine, and vice versa. Although I do feel like the feminine is more open to being their true self around people, because they've been in this independent, solitary mode. And so it's like they realize this before the masculine, that they needed to drop the act. Or maybe there just never has been a pretense with this feminine. This could be a very pure feminine. Pure of heart. Yeah, we're going to pull from the Van Gogh. You know what? Let's pull for the feminine, actually. The Emperor. 5 of Pentacles. The High Priestess again. 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment in reverse. The masculines might still be wondering whether or not they have enough to offer this feminine. Have I done enough work? That could be the question. Have I done enough work? Yeah, we've got the 9 of Swords. We're going to pull from this one. Because why not? Oh, the deck's all cuckoo. Hanged Man. So that's what's been taking so long. So yeah, maybe they're going to let something slip. And maybe feminines, you feel your masculine is around you, but maybe you don't know who it is because they're unrecognizable. It's a man without a face. A masculine without a face. But that movie, A Man Without a Face. Yeah, this is like running through the forest, all these wands, and yeah, the feminine gets a lot of offers, but the 8 of Pentacles, they want the one that has pentacles to offer, who's really worked on themselves. The Moon, Cancer, Pisces. This feminine deck has been trying me the last few days, so let's see. Yeah. Death in reverse, Knight of Cups. Empress in... Oh, this is a mess. The Empress in reverse, the Magician in the reverse, the Sun in reverse. I can't create without your love. Couldn't see it. Oh, wow. That's a little bit... that's a little bit narcissistic of me. I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh, that song that has this lyric, it's my song. But it is the scorpionic energy. It's you know, Pluto. That's funny. You tried to heal it on Pluto, but you couldn't see it. You couldn't see it. You tried to feel it on Pluto, but you couldn't reach it. In the cold, darkened abyss, it was always ending like this. Out of the sun, my love. Out of the sun, my love. God, again. The 6 of Cups is coming in, but this feminine, there's like a... the feminine's just like the same thing every day. 9-inch nails. Maybe somebody has long fingernails. But 9-inch nails also is like the nails used to crucify. There's that martyr energy again. Like, I came back. I thought we were coming back. I thought we were doing this lifetime. But the feminine does not even see the masculine. They don't see this coming. With that 8 of Swords, they don't see this coming at all. They feel kind of hopeless. They're like, you left to go heal. You told me you were going to go fix this and prepare yourself for this love. And whether this is in the 5D communication or whether this is somebody that you've had a 3D break from in separation, you are in a separation, and it feels like ages and ages and ages. Couldn't see it. Yeah, I think that the feminine's thinking, oh, the masculine's just, I guess it's just me. I guess I'm just going to keep doing this, 8 of Wands. I'm just going to keep doing this cycle by myself. I guess I'm just going to keep living this. Groundhog Day has been the term that I've been met with several times in several conversations, because I think most people in the world, look at the world here, have that 5 of Pentacles, that kind of like just feeling left out in the cold, feeling like, show me the money. Queen of Wands. They're very patient for a Queen of Wands. Look how she's sitting there. She's sitting there in Empress energy. Could be feminine, could have some strong fire placements. 5 of Wands. Let's just come together and talk about our disagreements, our differences. 5 of Wands. I don't want to fight. That could be the worry. The masculine could be like, oh gosh, I don't want to be met with either the things the troubles that I caused, or that kind of longing sensation. Like, I know that this feminine has been doing this on their own. This could be a masculine who's like, I fucked up and now I have to come back in and humbly fix the situation. That could be if you have interacted in this incarnation, and if you haven't, then the masculine senses that the feminine has been through the ringer and the ringer and the ringer and the ringer and the ringer. And now they're going to be the ringer. The ringer is the one who comes in and kind of saves the day. Here he comes to save the day. There he is, the wounded warrior. Coming in. But not the woe is me wounded warrior. This is a masculine who's really done the work, and they have the scars to show for it. Right? They've been through love. They've had heartbreaks. They've been through all the cord cutting. Their health could have taken a hit. Their money took a hit. It's like their whole life has been like hit. And this is like a fighter hanging on the ropes. Maybe somebody's into, UFC or boxing, or they're like, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ali. Maybe they're a rapper. I don't know where that just came from. 4 of Wands is the 11-11. Strength again, more Leo energy. Ooh, 8 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. This is a bit abundant growth, true growth. I feel like you're going to grow younger together. And the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is going against the grain, taking an unorthodox, so maybe something with the church, unorthodox, because I was getting Jewish in there as well. And that is the biggest component with Charlotte and Harry in Sex and the City, is that he's Jewish. She's not, so she has to convert. Well, she chooses to convert. It's not, nobody has to. Nothing is forced here. It's all free will. So it's all choice. It's all, that way it's unconditional love, because it's a choice. But eight of Wands is like, it's like the salmon, which is the Native American zodiac for Leo, again. It's the one who, they swim upstream to procreate, but that's how they, like, it takes a lot of strength to go against the grain, to like break away from these family dynamics or these societal dynamics that held your love back. So I'm interested to know what these dynamics are for each person, because they're going to be different for everybody. But I would love to know what are these things, these perceived taboo elements or setbacks or challenges or, obstacles, perceived obstacles. Well, they are obstacles, but this is like this person's running the obstacle course. They're running the gauntlet to get to this feminine, because I think they feel that like their absence is creating a sort of a longing and a despair in the feminine, and so they want to come in to be the hero. Then you cast your fears aside, and you know you can't survive. Yeah, it's like this person's your lifeline. And then a hero comes along. I like that. I think that's what it's going to be. Mariah Carey, MC. Yeah, maybe somebody's like a DJ or an MC or, creates music. Yes, I am kidding that. MC. Those could be initials as well. That's also like Cancer, Scorpio, and Virgo with the lettering. Capricorn. Which they are polarity. And then Scorpio and Virgo tend to get along pretty well. So, that was a lot. That was a lot of just random channeling. So I hope that there was something in here for you, collective. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, your time, your energy. And until next time, I wish you well.